Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome back to the Better Man podcast. Today we are continuing with our member interviews focused on reclaiming your fitness. Today we've got Richard G, who is our web developer. So this is a pretty cool interview. Richard has been doing Manful Yoga since I don't know, like 2013 now, 2014. He was one of the first people that I worked with through webcam training back when I offered that in the early days of launching Manful Yoga. And yeah, Richard's got a. I like Richard's story a lot because he's not going to sit here and say you have to eat healthy all the time and you have to like working out, because he doesn't like working out a lot. He also doesn't like eating healthy. I think his real life aspiration is to start a full-time baking company. um Maybe, yeah. Anyways, I'll let you I'll let Richard talk. So Richard, thanks for being here, even though I required you to be here because you work here.
Hello, thanks for having me on your podcast to yell at you in front of a bunch of people as opposed
Yeah.
to just normally.
Yeah, as opposed to in just normal team meetings when you yell at me. So yeah, everything that we do with Manful Yoga has to go through Richard, in some shape or form. So yeah, it's cool. Anyways, so where do I start this? So, Richard, what was your when did you start doing Manful Yoga? Let's start there.
God, when did your YouTube video channel start? Because I'm pretty sure I remember like the first 3 videos
Mm.
on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so I think I started putting YouTube videos out in December of 2012.
Yeah, it's probably 2013 then,
Mm.
because there weren't a lot, but I liked them.
Mm.
And yeah, that's where just the you used to be able to type into Google yoga for men and find quality things instead of ads. But no, that's legitimately how I found Manful Yoga, is just kind of like going and looking for yoga on YouTube.
Yeah, cool. What made you go looking for yoga?
Well, so I was never an athletic person. I'm still I guess I'm just I never played sports. I read a lot. I read a lot when
You
I was
are an athletic person. You do
yeah, you know,
kettlebells. You know how to do
that's
difficult,
why
like
I
complex movements.
that's why I stopped myself. I'm saying, so leading up to it, like I'm a theater and library kid. Who I after at a certain point in my life, like did start to realize I was like I used to get like chronic sinus infections and be sick all the time, and I was overweight. And it's just like I've always been like a big guy because I'm like 6'3". But it used to be a lot.
Terrifyingly large person. Like you look at his photos and you're like, oh yeah, there he is. And then you see him in person, you're like, oh my god, I forgot how big you were.
Yeah. But no, it's like I started working out, and I wanted. Uh, I've always been, I guess, more flexible than not. Probably because I wasn't athletic like sports wise, so there was nothing holding any like muscle back or any. There's no muscle holding any of the flexibility back.
Hmm.
But like yoga was one of those ones that was like I could do that at home by myself,
Hmm.
without because I had tried classes before and they weren't ever really my jam. The music I talked about this before about how I don't like the music that a lot of yoga classes had. It was just kind of like I don't want to listen to this while I'm
Feel your
struggling.
feet melt into the earth.
It's not. I can't. I'm like I understand. Can you tell me
Connect.
where are they supposed to go? Where are they supposed to go, please? So Manflicker was like really good for me because I could do it at home, and as opposed to just saying where I it's like go into a pose and sink into a pose, it was your your shoulders go here, feel them kind of lock in, and I could actually understand what I was doing as opposed to just kind of being expected to know.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so that was real.
Okay. Was there a reason you chose yoga as opposed to another type of exercise?
Uh, I I've done a I've done a lot of different types of exercise in my time. Yoga. is the one that I can do that is most consistently like I can get through it. Um, One, because there's a lot more modifications, especially in Manflow yoga.
Hmm.
Way you work at it, like there's a lot more ways of being like, okay, now if you can't hold this, do this. And like if you're doing calisthenics at home, it's just like do 50 push-ups. I'm like, I can do one bad push-up. Um, what else do I do? Do 50. Like, okay, that's not helpful. I don't
Yeah,
think you understand this.
got it. Okay, cool. So you're first starting out doing yoga. How often were you doing it when you first started?
Ooh, that's I don't really remember, honestly. Um Probably a couple of times a week. I don't know
Okay.
if I was doing it every day or not. Doesn't
What
seem like I
enabled you
would.
to what enabled you to be consistent with it?
Uh so I think I've talked, like you mentioned this earlier, it's like I don't enjoy working out. Um and I think part of it comes from the fact that I've just accepted that I don't enjoy working out.
Hmm.
And
Do
I
you
don't
still not enjoy working out?
I s- every day I go into the gym and I think if I had a pill that would make me instantly healthy forever, I would take it.
Hmm.
It's Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of those things that's like I understand that I'm doing this. I understand that this is good for me and I have never felt endorphins from working out. I don't understand. I people
You
say that's a
didn't you
thing.
didn't get that, Gene.
I didn't get that. It's and I think to myself, "Oh, you're lying. Oh, it's that's a lie." But like it's just one of those things like the reason I'm consistent is because I am doing this because it is good for me and I want to be able to do other things. And I also try and think of it more as like exercise is not a punishment and food is not a reward. They are both good things. And
Hmm.
I'm not gonna go say like, oh, in order to eat this thing I like, I need to do 5 miles on the treadmill. I'm like, no, I'm
Hmm.
doing exercise because it makes my body better. It makes me able to function better
Was
if I
that
eat.
was that always how you viewed it, or did it take you some time to develop that
It
mindset?
took some time to develop that. I think just like starting out, it was probably just vanity was exercise. Just like I just wanted to
Okay.
look better. I mean, got to start somewhere. And then I got cancer.
Mm.
Uh, and that changes a lot of things.
Mhm.
um and it was one of those things like I realized like exercising and working out and doing yoga, like I had surgery on my knee to remove a mass from the bursal sac of my knee. And like
How
because
rare is that?
it's
Like,
not
on a knee?
it's not the it being on the knee was weird because soft tissue sarcomas are usually in your chest.
Okay.
So it was just kind of a something traveled, and it was one of those. No, doctors kept saying I get dealt a bad hand, and I was like, great, thank you for the work you are doing. I very much appreciate it. Stop saying that phrase to me because I've heard it from 3 different doctors now.
Wow. That's strange that they all use the same phrase.
Yeah. It's I don't know if it's just the particular oncology department I was working with, but or it's like, what do I say to someone who has a weird cancer condition? I'm like,
Mm.
yep. But no, since I was so active, since I was like consistently working out before then and uh, doing yoga very consistently, my recovery has been um, like I have pretty much full function of that knee, even though it's like there's parts of it being held together with surgical glue forever. Um, I can't. I haven't been able to do a
Mhm.
pistol squat on that leg anymore. Um,
Mm.
but that's not something you need to be able to do. It's just something that's cool that you can do if you can do it.
It is cool to do, yes, but you don't need to do it. It's a good
Yeah.
description. Oh, and the cancer happened, so this is pretty long after you first started working out. This was like when was this?
No, this was 20. The cancer was 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that happened at the end of 2015. That's when I had the
Okay.
surgery, and then I had chemo, and then I had radiation, or I had radiation and then chemo. Um, and like I'd been working out pretty steadily for a couple years by then. Um, and yeah, I'd also had some severe back pain for a while that I was just kind of ignoring because I was like doing like Olympic dead barbell as well, like deadlifts and stuff. I think
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember the amount of sciatica pain I had to deal with.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I remember I
Yeah.
developed sciatic routines. I actually used you as a template to develop sciatic routines. I'm like, does this hurt? Cool, let's not do that. Does this hurt? All right, let's not do that. Does it feel better after we do this? Yes, perfect. Got it.
Uh, but
Yeah.
weirdly enough, that went away after the recovery period. I think just because simply couldn't move for about 6 months because,
Hmm.
yeah. Um, and I've been a lot better about not injuring myself. I think
Hmm.
that came, what came out of that is in like, I am now in this to feel good and not injure myself. And those are the two most important things about working out.
Hmm. Okay, that was gonna be my question, but you answered it. Was there something else that the? I mean, I'm always fascinated by people who go through these life changing experiences that have these significant, significant loss, or they go through this, experience that teaches them that they're not, immortal, or they have to give up a piece of themselves that they thought was integral to who they are. And in the people who can make it through this, they come out better for the experience. So I'm curious for you, what else was there?
Uh, I think it's not that. Yeah, I think it was just a lot of that. It was just like there was a lot I was like aiming for aesthetically, that I just kind of decided, I'm like, I don't think I care about that anymore. And
Okay.
part of it was like I was in that kind of mode where I was like doing that like broccoli and chicken and only that thing.
Mm,
Like yeah. And after that I was like, I want to eat things that I like and enjoy, and I don't need to worry about this anymore. It's like if I'm if I'm feeling good, then that's good.
hmm. So let's go through your what did you start your weight loss? Because you used to be a lot bigger than you are
Yeah.
now. So what were you at when you before you started working out? And then let's go down to like the cancer when you were still in your aesthetic focus. And then what are you now?
So the highest I ever weighed was around two. The highest I remember weighing myself was around 280. I think I was higher than that, but after a certain point, I just didn't weigh myself. Because you can throw a lot of stuff in the river called denial. And yeah, and the lowest I ever was like when I was like really pushing hard was around 170, 175. Like I had visible abs for a bit. Just
Oh
like
wow. You
yeah.
got down to 170.
Yeah.
170. That's like
Yeah.
but that's like too small almost for your
Yeah.
height. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's do you want to talk about the history of disordered eating? We can.
Mhm.
That's another fun aspect to of coming out of figuring out how I feel about food.
Mm.
Because there was a while I was like strict paleo
Okay.
and like evangelizing paleo, and I look back at that and I'm
Ugh,
like,
one of those
oh
people.
no.
That's great. You had different phases of life. That's cool.
Yeah.
And so now what are you? Or what do you like? What do you sit around now?
Right now I am around 220. And I for the amount of weightlifting I do, I think that is
Well, do
a
you know
good chunk.
what's your body fat? Do you know what your body fat percentage is?
I haven't done like a DEXA scan in a real long time. I think it's anywhere around 10 to 20. I don't know,
Yeah.
somewhere in that
That's a
range.
large range, but yeah, I mean, I think people don't realize that if you're always below 10% body fat, I don't. from from my understanding, a healthier body fat percentage should be at is in like the 12 to 15% range.
Yeah.
Like if you're, always in single digit, um it's not it's not the best for long term. I think it's fine if you're doing it for periods of your life. Like let's say you're training for something, and even if you're not training for something, maybe you're just working out and you're like, I want to get down to 6% body fat just to see what it looks like, just to get there, just to show myself that I can do it. And then I'm going to try and do whatever. You try and max out on some sort of event. And then you're there for like maybe 6 weeks or 3 months or something. And then you say, okay, now I'm going to go back up to like 12%. Um, but yeah, so, but you feel good at 220 pounds.
Yeah, I there are times where I was like, I'm fluffy. I don't got a lot of definition. But I don't. I just remember when I was down at like 175. I just remember I didn't feel good.
Mm,
Like looked pretty good, but like felt kind of just like tired
yeah.
and like I yeah
Yeah. Voraciously hungry?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. I had that phase too when I think I was like, I want to say I was like 160 pounds, maybe like 160, something like that. But I remember I remember going to a health event once, like a health expo, and I had my body fat percentage taken. And the, the in body assessment, which is basically looks like a scale. You stand on it and then you hold the arms of it, and it runs an electric current through your body to figure out your body fat percentage. That said that I was like 4 or 4.5%, and then someone did like a capers test, like the physical. I don't know what it is.
Calipers, yeah.
Caliper, yes, that thing. Caper is I believe that's an item
That's
that
a
you add
food.
to a pizza.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, or not a pizza, something else too. And then that was like, I don't know if that was like 5 or 5.5 or something like that. But anyways, I remember when I was there and like looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, wow, I'm really cut. But then like I saw a video of myself taken out of context, and it was like that. I was like, oh my God, that guy is really skinny. I was like, oh, that's me. Oh, okay, I'm gonna start eating more food. This is not good. So yeah, and I remember at the time I was eating like just veggies and like meat and very few carbs, if any. And yeah, like my physical performance was garbage. I was able to get through yoga workouts, but like I wasn't able to get through any sort of other type of workout. So I want to kind of take things back to when you were first getting started with working out. What did you do when you didn't want to work out? Like what, how did you motivate yourself to work out? Was it purely the desire? Was it the aesthetics desire, or was there something else that encouraged you? Or what do you think?
Uh this kind of continues now, as and that I like to set arbitrary goals.
Hmm.
And they're not like good goals. They're not regular goals. It's just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do this X amount of times. I have a sheet, I need to fill this out. And that's it. It's like it was just like, okay, this is just the thing I need to do today.
Mm.
Like and that continues a little bit today. It's like, okay, well, I'm good.
Yeah,
I do a lot
those
of
those printable sheets that we make for people for workout programs, that's actually something you just made for yourself. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like it was just there. It's like it's something that I can check off and be like, I have done that. It is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and in that first month, do you remember noticing any? Yeah, I know we're going back a long way, but I like to ask this question because people who are haven't started yet, they want to know, like, okay, like, great, you've been working out for 10 years, right? But like if I'm just getting started working out, what can I look forward to within 1 month of getting started? So like for you, did you notice anything happening within 1 month, or what was that minimum time that it took for you to start noticing improvements, or the benefits of working out?
Um for yoga specifically, um I think it was the fact that I didn't feel as bad after other workouts.
Hmm.
My recover like I recovered better.
Mhm.
And that kind of continues even now. I do, I think we mentioned before, like right now I'm doing like kettlebell 5 times a week, kettlebell training.
Mhm.
And I am doing complex, heavy movements. But because I also do yoga 3 to 5 times a week, I am come in and I'm the only one who's not sore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like it's just that kind of thing where it's like, oh, I can do things and I feel fine afterwards because I have done other things to make me fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So outside of your working out, outside of physical fitness, in terms of the exercise, what results have you noticed just in terms of your everyday life?
Um, I think it's just kind of a general. It's weirdly it's the same thing. It's like I don't have a lot of pain day to day.
Mhm. Did
Even
you have pain day to day?
yeah, well, because as I mentioned earlier, I am a book kid and a reading kid and a sitting at a computer all day kid. And so
Board
after
games. Don't forget board games.
yes, all these things sitting, hunching over. Um, but
Mhm.
like my posture is pretty great, honestly. And
We used to I just remembered, you used to describe yourself as, like, the manful yoga gargoyle or
yeah,
because that's your
just like
typical position during the day. Yeah.
it's to let's be honest, still is, but like I stand up, I'm like, oh, I'm good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I can move in and out of those positions. But yeah, I do still hunch over like a
Yeah, we need a new keyboard situation. Well, I've seen the keyboard that has, like, it's a split keyboard, right? So
yeah.
you could spread your arms and then you
That does
could, like,
require you to be able to like touch type, and I oddly enough cannot do that.
I think now I'm wondering, like, an actual ideal keyboard. So if anybody is listening to this is an inventor of some sort, if you could actually turn your fingers to face up, right? And you could bring your arms like kind of along your sides with like this, basically like doing, I don't know, this the only thing that I can think of here is like you're just you're testing yourself for cancer. Um so yeah, anyways, if you could have like you could have a different keyboard setup, and that could potentially improve posture. But anyways, that was a long tangent.
Or you could just do yoga in the morning
Yeah.
as well. And
God, I mean, it's that is like that is so that is I mean, I think that is probably one of the best things that you can do for your body in the morning, as opposed to waiting for it later in the day. I know that that's been my experience. Like sometimes I don't always have the motivation to do morning yoga, but when I decide that that's going to be what I do in the morning for a consistent period of time, body feels so much better, and I don't have to warm up as much for my other workouts. So, anyways, if you're not already doing yoga in the morning, just a few minutes of that can be super helpful. Um, so you eventually went on to do, you talked about kettlebells already, but how did starting yoga and doing that consistently lead into you making other improvements in your health and wellness?
I think a lot of that comes from just being able to be like, I can do this, um, and therefore I can do more. That's kind of a it's just kind of just that confidence of
Hmm.
saying like, oh, I can do this. I can hold a plank for a minute. I can go start lifting a kettlebell. And uh it's one of those things. It's like yoga prepares you for a lot of other uh strength movements just because it's the core. It's being aware of what your body is doing and where your body is moving in the planes of movement your body goes through. And
Hmm.
that kind of branches off into almost every other type of thing you're doing, whether it's martial arts or Olympic Olympic lifting or kettlebells or
Hmm.
throwing hucking logs.
Yeah, that's cool. um yeah, all right. So my next question is, how have external support systems helped you along your fitness journey?
Okay, so this is a bit of a weird one because a
Because
weird question for me to answer just because I don't I like doing yoga alone. It's like I don't
yeah. So
um
Richard has been to some of the retreats before, and he literally just sits in a corner by himself and doesn't talk to anybody. Um, yeah. So I think even during the group workouts, you were just like, no, I'm good. I'm good over
I'm
here.
not there to work out. I'm there to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Dean, there are things to build. Shut up and leave me alone. Okay, fine.
I was there to. I come to the workouts as like, oh, something needs to be done. All right, I can figure that, or to stand ominously in the background holding up a clock. Uh,
Yes. I don't have it on me, but there you have definitely sent me passive aggressive signs before about
oh, that was
recording things.
aggressive, aggressive.
Aggressive. Yes. True.
Yeah, but I think because okay, so you know the question is like, what is the best type of exercise you can do? Have you heard? Do you know the correct answer to that?
Whatever allows you to be consistent, whatever
Yeah,
you.
whatever you will do.
Yeah.
And part of that is kind of just like what it is. It's like with yoga, I like doing that alone. I like doing that just in my living room, just with my music. With kettlebells, a lot of that is since I do work from home, that's kind of my only social interaction
Hmm.
during the week. So it's nice to like go and see people, and like that keeps me going there. Just like meeting people and just hanging out with the people in my kettlebell class.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Um, so what's the next thing you want to work on in your fitness? Is there is there a next level for you? Is there something that you're excited about that? I know you do push-up challenges. Do you still do that?
So yeah, no, I've been doing I'm trying to get 200 push-ups under 10 minutes. Is there a reason behind this? No. Um I'm just doing it because push-ups are easy to do at home, and if I have an arbitrary goal, I'm going to try and accomplish it. And I've just been doing this by like steadily increasing the amount of push-ups, amount of reps I do per set. So I do 10 sets. Right now I'm up to 25 reps per set. Today I got it in like 16 minutes and 39 seconds or something like that. Can't quite recall, but and just trying to get it in there. And yeah, I've been going up like just one rep per set per month. So like last month it was 24, this month is 25. Next month it'll be 26. And eventually I hope to get under 2 minutes just naturally, or I'll die. But one of those.
Yeah. Push-ups are tough when you're doing that many. Do you have to do anything for your shoulders?
I do man flow yoga.
Okay, that helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know that if I started doing that much pushing exercises, I would have to really do a lot of scapular work, like a lot of pulling exercises just to offset all that push-ups. But I did way too much bench press when I was younger. And so like I have to just every time I work out, I have to deal with whatever I did to my body when I was doing too much bench press 3 times a week, instead of doing other exercises. So, anyways,
Yeah.
oh well. All right, let's get into our fun section, rapid fire questions. So, what do you think is one habit, belief, or mindset that has helped you the most with your overall health and wellness?
Treat yourself with self-compassion. Just be kind to yourself at all, just in everything. Just it's okay. If you fall off the wagon, you didn't. You're just on a little detour. It's fine. If you eat a whole cake, it's fine. This is a great cake, probably. Just eat the cake.
Yeah,
Enjoy it.
yeah. And again, I want to clarify: you didn't used to think like that when you started working out, right?
No. It's been a process to kind of to change my relationship with food, to make it to where I can be just happy with what
Hmm.
I'm doing.
Cool. What's one thing that you do for your health that you think is overlooked or undervalued?
Uh, it's- it's- okay, that's weird. I don't know, because like everything else, I would go say like exercise. Do you? I'm like I don't know. I do all those things. Just like I think just um be willing to be bad at things.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think having that mindset's important. I'm extrapolating on that by saying I think a lot of people get frustrated when they can't do things, and recognizing that when you find something that you can't do is something that has the potential to make you a lot stronger versus you just continuing to do the same things that you already know how to do. There's so much more area of opportunity. There's so much more growth opportunity in the things that you can't do rather than just continuing to do the things that you know how to do and are comfortable with. So I think that's great advice.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's like you have to. It's not even that you are necessarily doing things that you are bad at. It's just accepting that to learn is to fail at things a few times, and that's great. That's how you learn things. The first step at being really good at something is being really bad at it.
Hmm. Yeah. I keep saying that to myself whenever I play Settlers of Catan, and I just, yeah, I still suck at it. So now I play Bananagrams instead. Yeah. All right. Last question. What is your? Oh wait, we talked about most stressful part of. What's the most stressful part of your day to day life?
Some of that I was talking about is like it's work. It can be difficult. Is it the most stressful these days? I don't know. There's always I'm 37. Had to remember. Going on 38, and this is like as I'm getting older, it's like I'm realizing like, oh, there's a bunch of health stuff I need to like be mindful of now that I didn't have to worry about for the longest time. And now it's like, oh, I need to get blood work. I need to do probably think about getting like colonoscopy, prostate exam, all these stuff that's also you know the fun fact about the chemotherapy they went through is they're like, yeah, every year you live, you're like 0.1% closer to getting leukemia. I'm like, great, great.
uh, Jeez. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's something to be said about recognizing the impending, your mortality. And
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into that yet, but I know it's apparently helpful for you. Stoicism, it's a thing. All right. So my last question here: what is your best piece of advice for men who want to be healthier?
I feel like I already said this, but it's just like be kind to yourself as you're
Mm,
going through and realize that you are your body is your body. It is not Dean's, it's not mine. The way I react to things are not going to be the way that you necessarily react to things. For me, macro counting and just being mindful of what I eat works. If that's not what works for you, then find something else. No one is If someone is trying to tell you that there's only one way to do things, run away. Run.
yeah.
Just yeah.
That's fair. So, like, give an example of what being kind to yourself sounds like in internal dialogue, versus how you used to talk to yourself when you were first starting out, and now how do you talk to yourself in something exercise related?
A good example of being kind to myself is understanding that my body today is different from my body yesterday, and that's fine. I think earlier on in my like exercise journey, if I was doing deadlifts and I couldn't do the same weight that I could the week before, I would get like mad at myself and berate myself and be like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not getting stronger? And now it's like if I'm doing snatches the week before with a 28K and I this week I walk in, I'm like, today's a 20K day. Today is I need to do what's right for my body today as opposed to thinking about what my body did some other day.
Mm, yeah, that's great advice. As someone who is continually on and off sick because my children bring me home special diseases, um, yeah, yeah, like my workouts are not linear. They're not linear, and there are. It looks like a. It looks like a. It looks like a. It looks like a very unwieldy stock market, in terms of like what my resistance is that I use, and my yeah. So
Yeah, this
definitely
is
the consistency over like meeting like your best standard every day.
progress isn't a straight line, it's a series of ups and downs.
Yes. All right. Cool. Well, Richard, thank you for joining me for this interview. We appreciate everything that you do for Manful Yoga. I can say that it would not be where it is now without you. And You do a lot for us, so thank you. And if you are, on the website or on the app, know that Richard built that somehow. So give him a shout out in the Facebook group if you're here and you want to say thank you. So yeah, thanks again, Richard.
My pleasure.
All right, guys. I hope this inspires you to be a better man. Be on the lookout for more episodes on the topic of reclaiming your health.